Hello there. Can you see the sun shining through? It's snowing outside, or it has been. It's really cold, but now the sun is shining in and lighting up my beautiful daffodils, and it just feels like a great day. But anyway, today I've set aside to get on top of our renovation planning. It feels that since Christmas we just haven't really picked up momentum, and actually living in a renovation, it can be quite difficult to stay focused, and even with lists and everything. And we know we've got to pick up pace, and I really want my bedroom and small bathroom finished. So today I'm just looking at books for inspiration, making sure that I've got all my facts in place, updating Milanote, and just feeling inspired and feeling motivated again. And as always, I thought that you might like to join me.
A little different than all the rest. I'm quite old-fashioned, where I had sometimes played chess. And when I'm out, I'm looking for that vintage fling. But all complexions that I adore, so hard to find, these seem impossible to score. So I dream on to someday find that vintage love.
I have got stacks and stacks of interior books, and although I don't copy the ideas in them, I do find that they're a really good source of inspiration. And when I'm feeling as though I've lost my interior drive, I'll just flick through a few books, and really it gets my brain going again. So I picked a few out. I've been spending time this week just reading and flicking through books. We'll go through a few. Now this one is probably my all-time favourite interior book. It's called British Designers at Home by Jenny Rose Innes, and I just love this book. Great interviews with designers, and it's really nice to see interior designers' actual homes. I don't know about you, but I'm not an interior designer, and I like my home to feel like home. So it's really nice to see how interior designers achieve that in their own home, because obviously in magazines a beautifully designed home looks perfect, but actually I need to feel more homely than sometimes they come across. So anyway, that is my all-time favourite book, and I'll put a link to these books in the description. This is my Cabana magazine. These are well, just brilliant. I've stopped buying magazines totally, so I suppose this would be called a book zine. I think it costs about 30 British pounds, and it's got beautiful homes from all over the world. And I just love the eclecticness of the homes and the colours. So I buy this now and again. It's a real coffee table book because that's fabric. I think it's a Liberty fabric. These come out, I want to say quarterly, may not be. But anyway, if you like a magazine but want something a bit more juicy, Cabana is brilliant. Now this one's an interesting one. This is Colour by Rocket St George, and I don't love the homes in this one, but it is good to see how colour is used in different homes. Some of these are a bit too contemporary for my liking and a bit too monotone in colour, but anyway, it's good to get a feel for colour and to start seeing which colours pop out of the page. I'm having a real green moment. I would say that green was probably my least favourite colour, and all of a sudden I can feel that I want to introduce green into my interiors, so that's an interesting one. Oh, I said that British Designers at Home was my favourite, but this is also another favourite. You can see how worn this is. It's been out so much. So this is Home, The Art of Simple Living by Natalie Walton. This is very pared back, lots of whites and things, but I do like lots of the reclaimed materials in this book. There's certainly inspiration to be drawn from in that one. This one was recommended to me. I bought this a few years ago. So this is Farren Ball, The Art of Colour, And again, just really good. It's quite an old book, this is now, so some of the interiors are a bit dated, but it is great to look to see how colour is used in the home. That's a nice one. And finally, like I said, not my final book, I've got loads of them, but I've just, for the bedroom and the shower room, I feel as though we're going a bit more traditional. So at home, Mark has a lot more traditional style than me, very classic. I like a lot more rustic, reclaimed, use of unusual materials. So it's about finding that balance, and I think that's how we achieve our elegantly knackered style, because we have conversations and normally we come to a conclusion and we achieve something which we both like, which is great. So this one is Ben Pentreath, English Decoration. So again, a great book if you like the British country home aesthetic. Just really lovely, lovely colours, very classic British countryside, British homes. So if you like that aesthetic, this is a really good one. But anyway, I've spent the last few days flicking through books, feeling inspired. I ordered some more fabrics because I find that sometimes just having new things to play around with helps. These are Linwood fabrics. Actually, none of these ones will be integrated into my home, but Linwood do lovely fabrics. And the next job, I think, is to go and measure. So let me go around and measure all the spaces and all the places where I know that I want to fill in this year with furniture or wallpaper or whatever. So let's go and measure. If you fancy buying an unusual present for a friend who's really into DIY or interiors, this little leather tape measure has been one of the best presents that I received from my friend. I think it's available on somewhere like Etsy. Again, I'll put a link in the description. But I carry this around with me all the time. I absolutely love it, and it looks great just lying around as well. So that's a great present idea. So now I've written out all the measurements for my kitchen, everything that I need to know. I need to do that also for the bedroom. And I've also written out other measurements for curtain poles and bits and pieces. So now I'm going to put all that information into Milanote. I introduced you to Milanote last year when I just discovered it myself, and I'm still loving it. So I've got this project set up here called Star Corner, and you'll notice that down in these columns I've got things like source book, all my plans and documents. If I just click on that, you can see that I've got my plan, my building plans and my electrical plans. So everything is stored in here. And then interiors, I've split up into rooms. And then the same with garden, I've split up into the different areas of my garden. So now I've taken all the measurements, I'm going to upload, if I go to kitchen, I will upload these are all my design ideas. So this is where I've got so far for the kitchen. These are just pictures that inspire me. This is one that I took when I went to Lanhydrock. This is my inspiration for the pantry. I've actually had this picture cut out from a magazine for about the last 10 years, way before I even moved to Star Corner. And this was also a photograph that I took at Lanhydrock as well. So that all looks very pretty, but I now need to put some meat on the bones of my kitchen plan. If I go back to the bathroom, you'll see again that I've got some inspirational pictures here. I did this yesterday. Very often a starting point for my interiors are paintings. So this one I actually found in the Farrow & Ball book. And then as a result of that, I then went to look on Pinterest and these came up as well. So love those. This is Trumpington, the colour Trumpington here that we already have in the living room. And then I picked out this green as a potential as well. So this is really the start. But if I click on the bathroom and on suite, I want to set up this sort of thing in my kitchen project. So I've got drawings, and in there, when Mark and I have been doodling about designs, I've put my drawings. And then mood boards. Oh, so this is mood board live is actually what we already have. So we've already got these sinks for the downstairs small bathroom, and then we've got these tiles and that. So mood board live is when we've actually bought something. Tasks and actions, things to buy, decisions that we need to make. Tasks, actually jobs to do, and then sourcing. So when I go and look online for different things, if I find anything that takes my fancy, so you'll see that I've been looking at shower heads on Etsy, so I drop them in here with a link. So if I decide to go ahead, I can just click on the link and it takes me directly to the page where I can buy it. So anyway, I want to do something similar for the kitchen, so I wonder if I can duplicate that. Yes, I can. So I've duplicated that, and then I can drop it straight into the kitchen. And then I can just go in and remove everything from this. So then I'm starting from scratch. So let me just do this, and then I'll do the next bit with you. Okay, well, I'm trying not to get too technical here, but I've now emptied all of these out so I can start loading real life kitchen stuff here. And what I've just done is I've uploaded this image of my little sketch of the kitchen with all the measurements on. And when you upload something, this was uploaded on my phone, it puts it into a column called unsorted. So now I'm able to put it where I want it. So I need to go, oh, sorry, going into the wrong place there. I need to go to interiors, kitchen, and I'm going to put that one in drawings. And there we go. So I now have a really rough sketch of my kitchen with all the main measurements. So now when I'm out and about and I'm looking for a sink unit or a little unit to go here or some curtains or whatever, I've got all the measurements, so I feel a lot more organised now. A sink unit or some curtains or some curtain poles or something I hadn't even expected. I can look on Milanote and find the information that I've got. I've even measured upstairs because the ceilings are quite low. I've even measured the floor to ceiling, so I've only got 190 centimetres to play with upstairs. So if I see a wardrobe or something. So this is proving to be a really useful day. Now the next thing I need to do is actually make a list of all the things that I need to find. So let me think. Start off with a sink unit for the kitchen. And then some freestanding units here and here. So 2 times freestanding units. I need, or I would like, as per the picture that I showed you earlier of the glazed cupboard, I would love to find something like that. I've currently got a little cream cupboard opposite behind you, and I would really like a floor to ceiling cupboard there. So glazed cupboard, that's not going to be easy to find. Curtains. Curtain poles. Moving on into the bedroom, I need a chest of drawers, wardrobes, bedsides. Now here's a handy thing. I think you'll find this useful. When I'm thinking about a new room, I actually think about what I need it to achieve for me. So you may just think, I need a wardrobe, I need some bedsides, which is just what I've done. But actually, I really think about what is that room for, and I'll do a spider diagram. What's the room for? what do I need to store in that room? What do I need to use that room for? What things don't I have that I would currently like? So thinking about lighting and mirrors, storage, absolutely everything, how I want to feel, so the mood that I want to feel, the textures, the fabrics, I go down to that level of detail. And I think that way it stops it just from being a practical utilitarian space. I'm not an interior designer. This isn't something that I have learnt from anyone else, but this is what I find really useful. So to start with, in the inner level, it's like, what am I going to use this room for? So obviously sleeping, getting dressed, storing clothes, keep Mark happy, romance, reading, and then morning cup of tea, and then even bedtime rituals. Now from each of those then I can expand. So obviously sleeping, I need a bed, but it needs to be a comfortable mattress. Quality bed linen. And just think about all the things you need. So getting dressed, obviously I need somewhere to store my clothes, so wardrobe, which also comes there, but a long mirror. Now I know that I'm going to put my makeup on in the bathroom, so I don't need another mirror there, just a long mirror should do. I need good lighting so I can see myself, and actually I need space to actually be able to see myself. Bedtime rituals. So what do I do when I get into bed? I sometimes put hand cream on. Hand cream, charge my phone. So maybe for the hand cream and anything else that comes with that, maybe I want a little drawer in my bedside. So it's things like that that I start thinking, do I want my hand cream on display on the bedside, or do I actually want to put it in a drawer? Storing clothes. So I've got my everyday clothes, but then I actually have a summer or a seasonal wardrobe. So I need somewhere to store my clothes that are not being worn at the time. Morning cup of tea, so I need a bedside light. And just start thinking, building up, reading, definitely a reading light. I really struggle to read now if I don't have good light. So maybe a comfortable headboard, because I want to be comfortable when I'm sitting in bed. Romance. I'll have to give that one some thought. But anyway, you can see what I'm doing there. So all of a sudden, I know I don't just need a wardrobe. I actually need some drawers. I need a wardrobe that is in everyday use, but I actually need some other storage as well. So maybe I can put some storage under my bed where I can bag up the clothes that I'm not wearing and put them under my bed. When I'm thinking about where I'm going to get dressed and where the mirror is, I need to think about where that is. It probably needs to be near the window so that I've got good light. Probably needs an extra light source as well, so if it's dark I can still see myself. I need a decent mirror. And all things like that. I still start building up the picture of what the bedroom's for, and then also what I need in that bedroom to make sure that it delivers everything I need. So now I've gone through that exercise and I've started really thinking about what the bedroom needs to deliver. And I have done that with other rooms in the house as well. And sometimes it's surprising. It's not just somewhere you sleep. Maybe you watch television in the bedroom. It's not something I do, but you need to make sure that you've got the electricity socket and the aerial and everything. So it's all bits of details like that. I know that I charge my phone next to my bed when I sleep. I turn it off, but charge it. So I need to make sure that I've got a charging point. I need to make sure that I've got an electricity point next to my bed because I want a bedside light as well. So it's bits like that that you really start building up a picture. So even just talking to you whilst I was doing that, I thought actually my current bedside is just to do for now, and it's more of a cupboard, and it's really quite frustrating that I do have my jewellery on top of it and my hand cream on top of it, and it feels really messy. So actually when I'm sourcing something for my new bedroom, I do want to have separate drawers in it. So that's a really good point for me. I know that when I have a chest of drawers that I want smaller drawers to be able to separate things, so I can separate my pants and socks and scarves, and I want bigger drawers for jumpers and all sorts of things. So rather than like one big drawer, I've currently got a massive chest. Everything is thrown in the chest, and then inside the chest I just have cotton bags with my socks in and cotton bags with my tights in, and I just have to find the right bag. But when we have our proper bedroom, I know that I want different size drawers and that I can store everything separately. And equally the wardrobe, I need to know that I can store all my winter coats. I think I've got about 18 winter coats. So I need to make sure that I've got all the right storage in all the right places with good lighting, mirrors and everything. And going through that exercise really helped. So this is really exciting now. So I've looked at my reference books. I've updated Milanote, so I've got lots of measurements for all over the house. I've started really thinking in detail about what the bedroom is for and what I need. And I've started putting a shopping list together, which I will also add to Milanote. And then I can start thinking about colours and the overall look of the room, the aesthetic. So I don't want to have the same colour palette everywhere in the house, but I do want a thread, and I've very often talked about this piece of fabric. This piece of fabric is my Linwood and it's called Genie, and the colour is terracotta, but as you can see there are so many different colours in this. So tonally that is spot on. If I put that down on my pavement floor, it looks brilliant. If I hold that up against the red bricks cottage is made of, it looks brilliant. So tonally that is the tone of the house. So when I'm thinking about different fabrics or paint colours, I always refer back to this, and this is the colour Trumpington by Edward Bulmer. This is the colour that I've used in my living room, and I don't want this colour in every room, but again this is a really good tonal colour, and so I want to make sure that I'm bringing that tone throughout all of my house. And then it means that if I've got a cushion in that colour, I can have it in the living room, but then if I don't want it in the living room, I can move it through to the bedroom, or I can move it into the bathroom, or whatever. If I make sure that tonally everything goes, it just means that the whole house, I can continually move it round and everything should go in every room. And that's how I really like to do it. How are you doing? Are you still with me? I seem to have been telling you a lot today, but I'm really on a roll and this process really excites me. So, as I said, I cannot get away from the thought that I really fancy green in the bedroom and the bathroom. So I've already showed you this, but that's my starting inspiration. I just love those colours. Now, one of the things that I do when I'm starting to build up a new scheme for a different room is I look at what I've already got in the house. So let's start building this up. That's the colour in the living room, Trumpington. There's a piece of fabric that I put down somewhere. Is it under here? Right, there we go. That's the fabric that I always carry around with me and refer to. So those though, don't know whether you can see that screen, but start building that up. And then I'll look at what I've got in other rooms. So this is a picture that I've got in my living room, and if I look at that picture with the pictures in my new scheme, they do complement each other. They've got the same greeny background. This has got the gold tones in it, reds and blues. So I can see that that is a good place to start. And then I look at other things. So I've got this cushion that sits on my sofa in the living room, and then I've got this other cushion, and I start looking at things. So you'll see that they go and that goes, so it all starts building up. So then when I start looking at other colours, I can look and say, would that colour work with this scheme? Now the colour on here, I can tell you, is Farrow & Ball Breakfast Room Green, which is that one. Now I'd obviously have to order a sample, but I'm very happy looking at that with other things that I've already got, that's a really lovely tonal colour match. So you can see that that green is not in that piece of fabric anywhere, but tonally it works. Let me get the picture back up. Again, tonally that really works. It's that one. So I think next what I need to do is order some colour samples. I know as well that I'm going to, as always in every room, I really love burgundy. So in this Farrow & Ball picture, I was really drawn to this picture, and it's got this really lovely acidy greeny yellow, which isn't dissimilar to Trumpington, a bit more green. And then there's this lovely burgundy colour as well. So I think that's my starting point. Really do think this could be